All right, everybody, welcome to the DEFVERSE AMA here at Pinksale. My name's Shono, and today we're joined by Adam, Gareth, and John. Adam obviously representing as an AMA host, and then you've got Gareth and John who are the founders of the project. But I'll let Adam introduce and talk us through each of the members of the team, and then we'll kick it off learning about DEFVERSE.
Yeah, definitely, guys. So this is a really special one. This is what I like to call, honestly, top 10 projects to hit Pinksale, definitely at least this year. And I don't say that lightly. Again, as always, the disclaimers, not a financial advisor, never pretend to be. So seek out one if you're brand new. I am, of course, helping the project as a freelance AMA host. We are in a very special experience today, though, because we have the founders on at the end. So get excited and stay tuned till the very end for that. But this is a special one, guys. So this is DEFVERSE and their pre-sale here. It is a multi-round IDO on Pinksale, and the product that they've developed out is absolutely incredible. So we're going to get into it, right? Think the blend between NFTs as well as, a reward type NFT system versus, a play to earn system that's hyperinflationary. So much different than your standard play to earn type experience. I think they got something special here, but we'll get into it. So a little bit on me first, and then I'll get into the founders that are going to be joining, or that are joining at the end and are here on the call. So of course, my name's Adam. I do freelance hosting here across the crypto space. You'll find me on Telegram AMAs, on Twitter AMAs, and in the last 3 years that I've been doing this professionally, I've had the honor of being able to meet some of the best teams. And, again, when I can meet teams as cool as the ones at DEFVERSE, I think it's a real pleasure because, again, there's a lot of vaporware in this space, especially when it comes to utility projects. A meme is a meme, let's be honest, right? But utilities, there can be some really awesome products being developed out, but you really have to dive in and you have to make sure, is it more than just vaporware? Do they have a product? Have they put time in? And this team has put the time in. So DEFVERSE is what we're going to be talking about today. Like I mentioned, the team here is John Marcos and Gareth James, both founders on the team. To kind of branch out roles, Gareth is the CTO and main dev here on the platform, game side and security. If we look at John, he's the acting CMO currently, of course, one of the founders. And if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, he actually, sought out Gareth to be able to join the team many years ago. And, one thing led to another, and here they are here with DEFVERSE. So I did want to say, though, when we're talking about, experience, John has worked on, 5 projects before, ranging back to 2021. Gareth has actually had a ton of experience in game development and otherwise. Some notable titles here in 2007, Reflections, Driver, which was on the PlayStation 3, Rally X, which was a GP2X title, Crazy Circus on PC in 2014. And it shows in the product as well. So if it's okay with you, Shiano, I'd like to jump into kind of a high level on what DEFVERSE is all about. What I wanted to show you guys is something that I was going to kind of save for the middle, but I think it's a great little teaser. So I mentioned that this team has been working, extremely hard on their product, right? Well, part of their ecosystem and a core part of it is an entire games library, one of which we're going to showcase today in this little video here, Space Guardians Online. And I'm going to hit play, and you can take a look. Now you can see the ships there, just a few of them. They're going to be jumping into space here soon to get an idea of what the gameplay looks like. And you can actually demo some of this gameplay yourself through a downloadable app as well as on PC. Now, what impressed me here is they actually have a game that's able to be demoed. Now, of course, this demo is of the older version. They've made considerable leaps and bounds since, and that's going to be available in later quarters, closer to Q3. But you can see here, custom ship, navigating space here, blasting away some bad guys, and earning some points. So I'll pause that. Just wanted to show you guys that. And while we're waiting for Shauna to join back, I did want to mention there's a really special opportunity right now. Now, you don't often see this. Usually when there's, some sort of bonus, it's like, oh, we're going to give you a bonus and a ton of extra tokens. It becomes hyperinflationary and it's a mess on launch day. The difference here is you saw that there's a working game, right? This is, of course, an older version. The newer one is even sexier, I guess you could say, right? With a lot more added in. But you're going to be getting a limited edition Pinksale themed NFT and Pinksale themed Space Guardians, which is this, Space Guardians Online, spaceship NFT. So a really cool custom ship there with different attributes. Now that's for anybody. So if you contribute the minimum amount, the maximum amount, you're going to get that right off the bat as a big thank you from the core team. Now, of course, based on different milestones here of contributions, you're going to get even more. So if you contribute one BNB in the presale, which there's tons of time right now to still do, you're going to get a standard NFT. We're going to talk about what these NFTs are all about, but you're going to get a standard NFT. Contribute 3 BNB, you're going to get a Founders Edition NFT, which these are extremely rare. Now, if you go into 5 BNB range or more, you're going to get a Founders Edition NFT plus 3 standard NFTs. Now, I think Shauna just joined back. Shauna, can you hear us?
Yeah, really sorry. For some reason, my PC's dropped out, but my mobile phone's working. So I'm sorry if the audio is terrible. Yeah, still trying to sort that out. But yeah, I'll try and catch up whilst you go through the rest of the presentation. Apologies again.
No, it's okay, man. Life happens. So what I was just to catch up, what I was talking about was I wanted to show a little bit of a preview of Space Guardians Online, which is one of the flagship games that the team has developed. What I've been showcasing here, just to show you as well, Shauna, I'll back up a little bit. This is the early version of the game. If you actually look at the website, you can actually demo it yourself, which is really cool. But they are looking to release a fuller version in Q3 of 2024, so not too long from now. We were just going into some of the benefits of getting into the presale itself. One of them is pretty cool, the fact that you can get a Pinksale themed NFT as well as a Space Guardians Online, which is this game, NFT as well, like a special spaceship with different attributes for any level of contribution. And then we did mention extra rewards in the form of NFTs, which play an integral part in the actual ecosystem here. So, of course, ranging from 1 BNB all the way to 5, you're going to get more and more NFTs, and some that are, really, quite rare. So with that in mind, we're going to return to those NFTs soon, but I did want to go over some of the core concepts of why DEFVERSE matters. Let me first state this. The actual token that people would be contributing into to get, right, the DEFVERSE token, this is a token that is going to be the main means of currency effectively throughout the entire ecosystem. So I think that's very important to highlight, at first, just before we dive into everything, is this is the token you're going to be utilizing to be able to, purchase NFTs, to be able to, basically make purchases within the ecosystem itself. There's other, currencies as well that are kind of like sub-currencies, I guess you could say. But the main focus today, and you guys can obviously explore those in the white paper and otherwise, but I don't want to confuse. So this is the main thing to focus on. The DEFVERSE token is going to be your entry to be able to purchase these NFTs that we're going to talk about pretty soon. So with that being said, let's talk about some of the issues that really had the core team think about developing this product, right? The sustainability problem specifically. This is taken directly from the pitch deck. You can view it yourself, kind of walk along with us. But we kind of know these inherently, and it's unfortunate that we're in this paradigm. But we know that there was a huge surge of attention on play to earn games, right? Like a ton of attention. The problem is they're inflationary systems. They're unequitable to those who are playing, especially an imbalance in power in the sense of being able to pay, farms of people to, be exploited and farm on your behalf without having equitable agreements. And the main thing is the token models that are inflationary that just don't create fun ecosystems that you want to be a part of in the long term. So you can kind of see some of these summarized here, right? Play to earn business models have been proven to be unsustainable in the long term. We know that really well. Unbalanced rewards as well. Oh, were you going to jump in there? Sorry.
No, I was just giggling at your comment there. That's funny.
Yeah, no, oh my God. I mean, we've seen this so much in this ecosystem. It's crazy. And then of course, other issues within, the overall game economies as well as the market as well on a macro level, right? So if we look at the solution, right, of what DEFVERSE is looking to bring to this is actually implementing NFTs and some perishable NFTs, but mainly NFTs that are able to be transmitted across the ecosystems, meaning these NFTs can be used not just for one game, but multiple games. And there's also going to be NFTs that are specific to seasons that are going to be utilized within that span of time. Also, you can combine, we'll talk about this soon, but you can combine these NFTs after their season is effectively done and even be granted, even rarer NFTs, which is quite cool. So we'll talk about that soon. I think what's important with these NFTs too is the team focused in on a model that allows you to get maximum value from your NFTs. So effectively, if you don't get the face value of your NFT by the time the season is done, you're basically going to have another chance too, and you'll also have that ability to kind of fuse multiple together to get a rare one, which I think is quite cool. Some other solutions here as well. You can see creating a metaverse NFT gaming platform where not just one game exists, but an entire collection that can also be opened up for further development as well, which I think is amazing, and allowing for multiple streams of revenue, right? It's not just a system that's reliant on, tax from a token. It's one that is an entire ecosystem that brings in revenue through purchases. Those purchases are then redeployed back into rewards. And even, this is interesting, even the pre-sale itself, I think this is pretty telling, right? 50% of the total sale is actually going to be going back into marketing itself. So whatever they end up raising, right? I mean, the soft cap on this is really low, 25 BNB, hard cap of 100 BNB. This is not a fair launch. This is a standard pre-sale, so it cannot oversubscribe. It can only go to 100 BNB. 50% of whatever they raise is deployed right back into marketing, which I think is quite telling. But just some other things before I open the mic back there. I did just want to kind of reverse again to talk about the demand of the overall GameFi type ecosystem, right? So you can see here, Axie Infinity really kind of leading the road there, as we knew a couple years ago, just with bringing in entire intention to this space. The problem was obviously there's sustainability. And we know that there's a demand here, but there has yet to really be a solution that, first of all, is, very approachable, right? But also has a system that isn't relying on giving you tokens. And that's something very clear that I want to make clear here is, when you win a game, you're not winning, tokens, right? You're winning rewards. And these rewards are in these like jackpot type systems. So it incentivizes you to push harder to get, top placement within these games, to rank up, on scoreboards and otherwise, and also encourages you to have some of the best NFTs and be able to kind of play that rarity game, which I think is great because it brings in additional revenue. It integrates the DEFVERSE token as well because that can be used for payments. It's a nice model that doesn't become reliant on handing out rewards through token rewards, but instead monetary rewards in the form of USDT, which I think is great. Originally, it was BUSD. They shifted over to USDT for obvious reasons, everything with Binance. But I think it's great. But I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to you, Shiano. I'm sure there's some questions from here. Quite a different product, but hopefully even thus far, we've gone over some of the high levels of why this might be a little interesting.
Yeah, for sure. And look, I apologize if I ask a question that you might have already answered, but I did
No,
miss
no, we just started. You're
about a
good.
couple of minutes. But so I see on Pinksale, as you mentioned, that they are doing a sort of multi-stage pre-sale raise, and they did raise about 50 or so BNB on their previous pool. And just so I can get an idea, how much are they looking to raise in total? Like, what's the required amount that they're looking for?
I mean, the interesting thing is, and this was really telling yesterday when I was doing a deep dive with the team, right? As like kind of like a final catch up, you know, they could wait, right? They could just wait and self-fund this. You know, it might take a little bit longer, a couple additional months, but they wanted to be able to open this up to the world and also allow for a nice user base to start to grow. So of course they want to be, you know, in the couple 100,000, you know, mark, but they are open to be able to, you know, let it rip as soon as feels right, right? So they are going to continue to do multi-round phases. They do want to hit it, obviously at least the soft cap and, you know, potentially that hard cap, especially. But you know, they're not dissuaded by, oh, we didn't hit the hard cap. No, if you pass the soft cap, that's a win. Because I also wanted to mention, as far as release, some people might be thinking, oh man, multi-stage, you know, does that mean my money's stuck here? It's a lot different. Well, guys, think of this as being able to get into Axie, but Axie if it had sustainable mechanisms and if you were able to access it on Pinksale, right? So of course it's going to be multi-stage. Of course it's going to have a little bit different dynamics than, you know, a meme coin. But I did want to say just very transparently, they're looking for a mid-May listing on MEXC, right? So on Pancake Swap itself, with NFTs releasing shortly after, the founder packs in around the July time. And they are going to be allocating 40% of, you know, revenue to prize pools, right? So as NFTs are purchased, they have revenue to be able to actually put into these initial rewards, you know, through these contests, through these tournaments and otherwise. So it's a really interesting system, again, that is not dependent upon token rewards, which is huge. That's how systems fail. So it is a little bit unconventional, but yeah, they're looking to at least hit the soft cap, obviously, if not be very successful and hit the hard cap in multiple rounds. So they are looking to do, you know, a few more here.
Yeah, and you know, back to the whole gaming thing and Axie Infinity and all of that. You know, previous bull run GameFi plus NFT style games that, you know, were really face value. I never really saw many games come through that were actually trying to do the right thing. And you know, recently I've been researching a fair bit about gaming and things, and in Australia there's a few companies that are, you know, making headways with this sort of thing. And yeah, and you know, the amounts that these guys have raised from traditional venture capitalists, because it's Web3 gaming and they're pioneering that space, I think projects like this one definitely need to be taken seriously, because it's only going to take one project like this to really change the space and do an Axie Infinity, and you know, that's where the gains are made. So, you know, and just looking at the project, you can see it looks quality already.
Oh yeah, and you know, thank you for that. That was something that really impressed me, was just the scale of this product, the time that was put into this, and the team being, of course, you know, fully doxed as well. You can click on the video. I believe it has both the founders. Actually, I think James, I think, is near the end here. Well, Garrett's right there.
Over time.
Yeah, there we go.
You know, Space Guardian is
So
our first.
you can see both of them as well. So this is a very dedicated team, and it's something too that hasn't been seen in this space ever, especially on Pinksale, right? Not to say Pinksale doesn't have great projects, but when it comes to utility projects, this is something that honestly could have raised millions in VC, you know, funding. And I know that because Gareth himself told me, right? James told me, or sorry, John, sorry, I called you James, but John, they told me yesterday, right, that they actually turned down venture capital funding because they didn't want to be bound by, you know, VCs, right? Because when you do that, they basically, you know, they have you by the you know what, right? Like they can control your direction, they can control how you deploy, how you pivot your project. It's not really your project anymore, right? Because big money is tied into it now. So they actually turned away millions from VCs to be able to do a grassroots approach, because doing it on Pinksale allows for exposure to the biggest launchpad audience anyone has ever seen. And what do people in crypto like? Well, they like making money, yeah, and you can do that in this ecosystem, but they also like gaming. I would say it's disproportionate the amount of people that like gaming versus don't care about gaming. They just haven't found the right GameFi project, because their exposure to them is ones that are hyperinflationary, that are exploitative, and don't actually take care of the core, user. And when we're talking about being hyper, exploitative, I wanted to mention too, there is a way to actually do, well, before we get into that, I'll mention it though. There's a way to be able to do, sponsoring through a management system and scholar system, where basically you as a manager, you have to own an NFT, but then you can have a scholar, meaning someone playing on your behalf. You can, basically allow use of your NFT and they can earn. Whereas these other systems, they're based on promises. They're not based on a third-party trusted system that actually acts as an intermediary watching out for both parties. They can be very exploitative. So this is a different system that really takes care of all parties. I did want to just take a second and mention these NFTs though, because first of all, they look awesome. I mean, objectively, I think people can see right here, they're pretty dang cool. These are all hand-drawn as well. No AI. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind AI, but hand-drawn, I got to give credit where credit's due. As an in-house designer, I was laughing with with Gareth and John yesterday. I was like, guys, please never, give up your artists. They're gold. Like, so good.
Yeah,
but you can see you can see these NFTs and then the founder NFTs as well. We mentioned that you're going to be able to get your hands on this as well if you hit some of these criteria, 3 BNB and up, effectively all the way up to 5. You're getting a founders edition NFT as well as those standard NFTs, and this is what they look like. Now, I wanted to mention how the dynamics of this work. Every season, there's going to be 6,000 standard NFTs, as you can see here, between 6 different factions. These are, a Neko faction, so cat-like, characters within this universe that was created. That has a really cool story, by the way. You can watch the video on Pinksale to kind of understand it. But there's different factions based on like tech, based on ocean, based on, the underworld, the sky. It's really cool. It's really cool. But anyways, these standard NFTs, they have different star attributes here. So you can see basically after they've expired, you're able to combine them and create basically a 4-star variance. Now, of course, they have to be of the same faction. They can't be different ones, and you can create something ultra powerful, which is really cool. And these are super attainable at $50. I mean, come on, right? The founder edition NFTs are quite a bit more, $250, but there's only 600 of them. Now, what's great is you're actually enhancing your earning potential the rarer your NFT, is, right? So why this matters, right, is again going back to the idea of being able to get back your face value, if not much more, right? So effectively, a 1-star would get you, up to 100% return, a 2-star, 120, a 3-star, 140, 4-star, 180, and then the founders are like an instant 2x, basically on those game reward returns. So it's pretty incredible, and also you're eligible for lottery and airdrop giveaways as well, which default, to 100, of course. There's also going to be limited edition NFTs. These are going to be for, special events. They're not going to be specifically for play to earn rewards. These are going to kind of be, different specialty NFTs. There is also going to be NFTs that are more, for looks, I guess you could say, right? Because we talked about in the game, you're going to be able to have custom ships. In fact, you're even going to be able to get one for free with any contribution. So I would really encourage people, if this looks cool, if you got to catch a little bit of that demo and you want to own part of history with having a Pinksale limited edition SGO, Space Guardians Online, NFT with attributes, you can even just make a small contribution and be able to own that, which I think is really, really cool. Going back here, right? I did want to just kind of sort of talk about, the fact that, again, this is a game that is available to be played now. Of course, its updated version is going to be Q3, so you'll be able to see all the improvements that have been put in. And it also is going to be an ecosystem, as I mentioned earlier, that is more than just one game, right? So they have a MOBA type game. They have many, many different games that are all going to fit within the same ecosystem and can be cross-played on different platforms, as well as using the same NFTs, which I think is really special, right? Because you usually see these models where you have, an NFT that, yeah, it can work in a game, but then when you go to a different game, oh, it doesn't work anymore. Sorry, you got to buy a new one. They wanted to create an ecosystem that is truly cohesive and cross-platform as well, which I'm sure Gareth at the very end will talk about how he made that possible, which I think is pretty awesome how he was able to do that. But anyways, I don't want to go too in depth. Again, this is supposed to be high level, but I did want to mention those points of how the NFTs fit in, why you would want those NFTs from a reward perspective, and then of course I'd be happy to go into a little bit more on the tokenomics and otherwise. But yeah, that's a little bit about DEFVERSE.
Yeah. Adam, can I ask you, and sorry to make you repeat, there was something that you mentioned just as I dropped out about the Pinksale part of the NFTs or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just repeat that? I think it'd be good to touch back on that anyway.
Oh yeah, no, this is a very unique opportunity. So for those that don't know, right, like when I take on projects, when I consult with projects, I don't just do it to do it. I do it because I want to see them succeed. Like I genuinely want to see them succeed. And DEFVERSE was definitely no exception to that. In fact, I even put in extra time to be able to make sure that I give all that I can, in this relationship, right? So my suggestion was, let's go above and beyond for the Pinksale community to really show them this is something special. And obviously, this isn't, exclusively my thought. This is definitely theirs, but they took it and ran with it. I didn't tell them, hey, make a Pinksale, limited edition NFT. They just did it. Gareth woke up this morning. He said, hey, I got a surprise for you. I think the Pinksale community is going to love this. I was like, ooh, what is it? And he told me this, and I was like, that's awesome. So again, you're going to be getting a limited edition Pinksale themed NFT, as well as a Pinksale themed Space Guardians Online spaceship NFT as well. Now, what do these NFTs look like, and what do they look like in game? Well, let's look here. So you can see some of the different spaceships here. I believe this one's one of the fairy ones. You're able to actually see it being played here with your custom ship, which there's tons of different designs for. Imagine having a Pinksale one for literally just a few dollars in contribution, all the way up to as much as you'd like. So that's a little bit about that extra little Pinksale bonus. Of course, the other rewards as well, based on contributions from 1 BNB on up. These are going to be the ones that can really earn you some rewards, though, as I mentioned, starting at a base of 100% all the way up, to 200%, which is quite great, especially for those founder edition NFTs that have extra bonuses too. But these are NFTs that are built to earn for you, but earn based off of rewards, not inherently through token releases, but actually through the ability to, blend your skills in the game, compete with others, and then be able to enhance the rewards you're getting in the end based on your placement. I did want to mention too, when we're talking about games and money blending together, there inherently is the unfortunate reality of people cheating. Well, I was really impressed by this. Gareth and the team have worked for, years now to be able to bring in their skill sets and refine the ability to have anti-cheat be built in. So this is a system that has anti-cheat built into it. They've really taken the time to think that out because, again, there's so many ways you can game the system. They wanted to make sure it's equitable as possible. I'm sure Gareth can talk about that later as he developed it. But I did want to mention that because that's usually a question that comes up of, is it anti-cheat? Is it cheat resistant? Has there been time put into that? The answer is a resounding yes, and thank goodness. But anyways, I'm sure we have some questions here. Again, I wanted to go high level, but there is a special treat at the end. You get to hear from the founders. But I'm going to turn it back over to you, Sean.
Sweet. So you guys are happy to get some questions now, are you? Or did you want to mention anything else?
I mean, there is quite a bit more, but again, I'm definitely of the mindset of I don't like to confuse or, index on different things. But I do really encourage people go through the pitch deck. It is extremely robust. It looks absolutely stunning as well. And you're going to be able to get the core concepts here. Now, again, what I'd love for you guys to explore is understand how tournaments work. I'd love for you guys to do a little bit of homework and understand how the sponsorship system works through scholarships and the manager model. I think it's pretty genius. But again, I always like to think from the perspective of I don't know what this is, and I just rolled into an AMA. So I just wanted to keep the focus on the actual product that's being sold here at a great value, which is DEFVERSE, how it integrates into the ecosystem, why the NFTs matter, and how this is so different than the standard Axie model of let's just throw rewards at the problem and hope inflation doesn't happen, which we know how that turned out. So this is a different system than that. They're looking to make some waves, and you have an opportunity to be able to get in, get some nice little benefits, and even just with small contributions, you can even get some really cool Pinksale themed NFTs as well as skins within the Space Guardians Online game. Perhaps now would be a great time to do this. Gareth, did you want to jump in? Perhaps I don't know if John as well is able to jump in as well, but any just kind of closing things that you wanted to mention that we didn't cover high level or that you wanted to really focus on? Because I think it'd be great for people to hear from you folks, before we get into those questions.
Yeah, absolutely. But firstly, you've covered a great deal of content, and definitely most of the points that we wanted to highlight. So in the design of Guardians, again, we were always focused on how we would beat the business model, because we know the play to earn, the industry in play to earn over the last 4 to 5 years has been pretty broad, and we know it's non-sustainable, as we've learned in many, many different games. So our central business model was designed to kind of challenge that, to look at multiple streams of revenue so that we didn't hit the same barriers that a lot of these other games inevitably hit. With that, again, we did this in a way that we didn't actually factor in the token income at all into our business model. It's not that we won't use the token or its tax. We have a 5% sell tax. We have a 0% buy tax on it again. So obviously, to invest. But the 5% tax, we never really factored that into the prize pool. And the prize pool itself is basically up to 40% of our total revenue as a company from all sources. And we can do that because we're actually strategically positioned in the world. Our business registered a part of the world which doesn't actually have any crypto tax or corporation tax. So we already save 40%. So it makes no sense at all not to utilize that power. And even in the future, if the company that we're registered in, which is the Isle of Man, that actually now have a crypto tax, it doesn't really matter because we only ever give away money that we've already earned. For example, if we made a net profit of $1 billion, for example, in a season, then we've already got that money in the bank. It's money that's taxed. It's already money that's been, had all of the fees and operational costs attached taken from it. And then we would return 40% of that to the private pool. And this is how we plan to sustain the economy. And of course, as part of that, we have 10% buyback and burn from all sources, which means even non-token related income streams will contribute to the power of the token. Therefore, even in the worst of the markets, bear markets that will come, we'll be able to sustain throughout them.
Thanks, Gareth. Thanks for the rundown.
Yeah, Garrett, thank you so much for that. I think it is important, again, just highlighting a few points there, right? The fact that this is not dependent upon tax, right? The tax is an extra little benefit to, help with backing, of course, and to also help with buyback and burns, which is 1% of that 5. And also the barrier to entry on any type of GameFi type experience should be 0. And that's 100% the case here, right? Because there's 0% buy tax. So it's only on that sell side. And the sell side is, of course, supporting the growth of the token and the ecosystem as well. So I think a model that is focused on external revenue streams that funnel in through something that people actually want to play, through something that enhances their gameplay, that encourages them to compete to earn rewards versus playing and not even caring about what you're doing just to be able to farm some tokens that you're just going to dump, right? That's what creates games that are extremely boring, that are, ones that are exploitative. When you think about this, right? When you play a game, when you pick up, your PlayStation, Xbox, PC, whatever, do you play that game with the intention of, oh man, I'm going to play this, but I really wish every second I was playing, I was earning, rewards. Well, that would be great for a lot of people until you again realize that if you do that, then how is it being exploited by millions of other people and potentially even entire farms of people that are just playing, being paid nothing to be able to do this, right? Instead, what if there was a system that rewarded hard work, that rewarded competition, and then was able to reward based on that? That sounds way better. That sounds like something that people want to get better at, that they're actually dedicating skill into. And, if you're a busy person like many of us are, and you love the idea of this, maybe you love the NFTs as well, but you don't have time to play, well, you can sponsor a scholar, right? And they can play on your behalf. But again, the model is equitable to all parties involved. And I just think it's a much better system, a much better way to do it. So also, I did want to say on the tournament side as well as the sponsorship side, the tools that they're building out are ones to really support like esports in a really big way. So they're creating dashboards and utilities that allow for team creations, for custom tournaments, all this really cool stuff that you don't see again on projects that are bootstrapping like this at this level, right? This is a very refined project. I encourage people to kind of check it out. And I also wanted to say too, for stuff like this, I think transparency is, 100% what people should be looking at. So check out those docs videos. Of course, check out the other badges as well. I didn't cover them because this is an AMA that I wanted to really focus on the product itself and the benefit for you, the user. But meet the team. This is a team that has been building and building and building for quite a long time now. And I encourage you guys to see what they're all about and check out their TG as well.
Sweet. All right, guys, let's get some questions for the team here, so that we can get some more questions for Gareth and Adam as well. Please raise your hands and let's get it going. Who we got? Joella, what's up?
Hello, Shano. How you doing?
Hey, good, you?
I'm fine. Hello, guys. Can you guys hear me?
Sure can, yeah.
Okay, so my question is about what I saw in the website about the SGO scholarship service, which I thought was going to be like a scholarship for people maybe in need of funds for school. But when I got into the white paper, it was something I could not even understand. So I would like you to kindly explain better for me on the scholarship concept.
Definitely. So yeah, it's not the standard like school scholarship, like hey, the university recognizes your skills and we're going to give you a scholarship. It's instead in the sense of managers who would be NFT holders realizing, hey, we want to bring in talented individuals who are going to use these NFTs that we've worked hard to be able to acquire and purchase. And we want them to use those NFTs on a scholarship basis, which is built off of, the DApp that they've, created and is going to be introduced, to play on our behalf and also earn them rewards as well. So kind of that that type of model versus a traditional scholarship, which is, here's this money for, being a great student or something. So it's used in a different way, but that's the basic concept. But I did see Gareth come off mute there. So of course, if you wanted to add more depth to that, of course.
Yeah, so you've gotten the concept pretty much accurate. The idea with the scholarship, again, is not in the traditional sense of, you're a good graduate, you're going to go to university for free. It's literally, we plan to integrate a search system within our DEFVERSE API and in the platform itself, where managers who are investors in these NFTs can list themselves as open for collaboration with a scholar. Scholars can convert managers. So you're broadcasting now.
I can hear you.
Okay, sorry. So scholars can also do the same thing. Can flag themselves as looking for a manager. So looking for an opportunity to play for a award where they might not have the funds or the ability to fund that themselves. And remember, due to the scarcity of NFTs every season, we only release 6,600 NFTs every season, and we estimated player base within our first 6 to 12 months about 100 to 250,000, given the analytics we've looked at from other Web3 games. That 6,600 is going to be very scarce. This gives investors the opportunity, especially those who can't spend the time to play video games every day. It gives them an opportunity to earn, whilst also giving somebody who can't, maybe is not in a position to or doesn't want to invest their own money, and they have an opportunity to collaborate, agree a contract. And the most important thing here is that first we facilitate the agreement, administer it, and enforce the agreement. So the terms and conditions are set out very clearly when this contract is in. A manager looks for a scholar, they agree, they have a little back and forth, they talk to each other, we agree 50-50 split. Okay, the term is for 1 season, it begins now. Here's a list of my NFTs within the game that you want to compete in, which in this case will use the Space Guardians. So you've got some weapons, some chips. Which ones would you like access to? 5. Okay, so they choose 5. They sign the contract, and then the contract is live. At the end of that season, let's say the scholar wins $1,000 in tournaments. Then we basically facilitate the payment. So we say, okay, you won $1,000. The agreement was 50-50. So now $500 to the scholar, $500 to the manager, minus a 5% tax from each for our administration costs and facilitation of the contract.
And I wanted to mention as well, for those that want to dive a little bit, in as well, and maybe get a little bit of a reminder of what was just mentioned by Gareth there. It's on the white paper as well, page 4. You'll find it right here, scholarships and investment opportunities. I really encourage people, give it a read, because this is a different model that is very much focused on creating an environment that is welcoming and also supports different ways to interact in this ecosystem, because again, people are busy. For some people, they love the concept, they want to invest in it, they want to support, they don't have time to play. And there's some people on the other side that have a ton of time to be able to invest, but they want to make sure that they're not being exploited. So this is a system that supports both sides of that equation. I encourage people to check it out.
Thanks, Joella.
Thank
Cheers.
you for the clarification. Yeah, thank you so much.
And yeah, really good opportunity with that scholarship too. But Dimas, I'll let you chat us through.
Okay, hello Siano. Thank you for letting us give my question for the DEFVERSE team. Also, as usual, for Adam, thank you. Really great explanation, and also for the team. I just want to have some quick question regarding the NFTs, especially the seasonal NFTs. As a gamer, I know that every season or every time the season will reset, and also might be some kind of reward or badge or even a ranking system that would be reset. So I just want to know, especially you mentioned that the seasonal NFTs is not free, we have to buy it, and just want to know if the function for the seasonal NFTs would be different in every season, or the seasonal NFTs would be also always effective in every season for the game? Thank you, Siano, for letting me answer some of my question. Hope Adam and team get my question.
Yeah, Dimas, thank you. Again, Gareth, feel free to jump in because you know most on this point. But to what I understand, these NFTs, right, they are going to be season based, but they're not necessarily going to be, you know, different in their earning potential necessarily from season to season. They're still going to have their base, you know, kind of 100% face value earn potential on them, right? So it's not going to be, you know, season 3 is going to have a higher percent of earn than, you know, season 1. But Gareth, is that correct, or did you want to, you know, add more context there?
Yeah, so basically the seasonal NFTs, we refer to them as NFTs, and for the reason is that these pay for rewards eligibility NFTs, they're placed on the DEFVERSE platform because they're applicable to every game within our universe. So we've got 100 games, all adopt the same business model, seasonal with the 2-week consolidation, and in preparation for the next season. They all adopt the same business model. That's one of the core agreements that we make with third-party developers and any future game that we implement into the universe as well. So the NFTs themselves, we have the. Sorry, I got lost on the questions. Did you say what was the?
He was wondering on from season to season, is there difference in their kind of earning potential and use?
Yeah, lost value. Yeah, no, absolutely not. It stays the same throughout. The only difference is, of course, because we always have 40% of our prize pool from all tokens, it doesn't really matter how far we scale. I mean, if we have only 10 players that play the game competitively and we only raise $500, well, then there's 4% of $500, which is $200 prize pool between potential 10 competitors. But if we have 1 million people, well, then we have $400,000 worth of prize pool. So really, it's not like Infinity or other games where the prize pool is determined by the token strength. Token strength itself, of course, I mean, if we hit a bear market and 95% of the volume, we'd be in a world of trouble. There would be 10,000, 100,000, even 1 million players trying to pay for a fractional prize pool of 0.5%, which is absolutely ludicrous, of course. And that's exactly why we developed the business model that we have. We developed it so you always get up to 40% of what we actually earn as a company. And this didn't happen in the likes of Axie Infinity. In the glory days, of course, talking hundreds of millions of dollars. And when the bear market came, that money was not injected back into the prize pool to stay in the market. It wasn't injected into the project to maintain their kind of place as the #1 Web3 game in the crypto scene. It was literally just, I think one of the statements Axie Infinity actually made was, we can actually develop our game, our product now for the next 20 years because we have $600 million in the bank. And my question, because I'm an investor in Axie Infinity, I was like, well, why haven't we put a percentage of that back into the prize pool to get through the bear market? Investment, anything, and that didn't happen. So really, when I approached the business model with John, I said to John, we need to avoid that. We can't be in the same place where we're sitting, it would be great if we're sitting at $500 million and then the bear market comes and then, we've got it and say, okay, so what are we going to do? And as we've said, the idea was, as long as we've got a player base interested in our game on the DEFVERSE platform, we're not just in the game. We are a multitude of different games from different genres. We also target Web 2 and Web 3 users, and we aim to collectively bring them together to play competitively for reward. And because we have that, we're coming from two sides of the table, and we're bringing players together, and players will continue to play regardless of the market. And because they continue to play, because they continue to invest in the NFTs, because they buy battle passes and VIP passes, they buy aesthetics and bonuses, upgrades, because they do that, we give back 40% of what we earn at all times. And that is how we sustain the market.
All right. Thank you, Garrett. Very solid answer, and also from Adam. I really hope that this game will be launched earlier, but yeah, the team has its own space. Thank you, Siano, for letting me asking my question.
Oh, good, bro. Cheers. Rio, what's up?
Yeah, the question actually is when it comes, because I was going through your white paper, and there's actually something that caught my attention there, which is the fundraising. So it's on that I think the events that will be happening on DEFVERSE. So I wanted to know, how does fundraising actually tie into the gaming platform? Is this raising funds for gamers, or what's the actual utility behind that?
Oh, okay. Now I got it. I think you got a little closer to the mic. Thank you. Okay, so it's actually really simple. I kind of mentioned this earlier, but it's a great summary point again. So 50% of the raise here on Pinksale, no matter what phase it's in, goes directly back into marketing. Now, why that's important is with a product like this, you want to be able to get the ear of people who got into Axie, who maybe heard about Axie, but they were like, I'm not getting into something that's hyperinflationary. That's ridiculous. And being able to show them something different. This takes communication. It takes, marketing, which is, communication's part of that through AMAs and otherwise. And you need funds to do that. Let's just be honest, right? The world moves with money, and you need to be able to have funds to do that. So a dedication of 50% of the raise, no matter what it is, past soft cap, goes into marketing. The other is putting into development and growth of the platform. I think is imperative. So it's as simple as that. Now, of course, as more people find out about the project, as more development happens, of course, you grow your user base. And why that matters is now you have more people buying the NFTs. How do you buy the NFTs? Well, again, to thread that needle back, you need DEFVERSE token. So it inherently ties in the use of the token that people are have the ability to buy in the pre-sale. And it all works in that, kind of circular model there. So hopefully that kind of helps just kind of simply understand what the raise will be used for.
Yeah. Thanks for that. So the funds raised from the sale is dive, into rewards. So yeah, I was just trying to align, what fundraisers actually are meant with rewards. So yeah, and I think maybe with that aspect, you could maybe implement giving real life rewards to gamers when the platform gets to a certain point. Gamers that are aspiring to set up their gaming their gaming structure, actually build themselves up. So maybe you could give out real life rewards as well. And yeah, I hope best for the platform though. So yeah, thanks for the answers, Adam, and thanks, Yano.
Hey, Rio, thank you. And just really quick before we get to the final questions there, I did want to mention, again, a reminder that when you said real rewards, these prizes are not given out in tokens, right? That's inflationary. That's bad, right? Just innately, that's bad. These are rewards in USDT stables, right? And 40% of the revenue generated from NFT sales and within the ecosystem is used to fund prize pools, right? So that's where, the funding comes for lotteries, for these prize pools in these tournaments and, overall gameplay. And it's not a model that rewards every single person that plays. It's one that really hangs its hat on competition. If you're skilled, if you also have a bit of luck in, being able to have maybe the funds to get an NFT that has, a higher star rating, and if you combine that with your skill, you're able to be eligible, still with some luck involved there, of course, for these rewards. But they're not inherently given out just for gameplay. And that is a great model. I don't know how it hasn't been seized upon earlier, but this is obviously the way to do it. So, again, it's still to be proven if DEFVERSE can do that at scale. But I mean, you have all the ingredients here, right? You have a game that's fleshed out. You have an entire ecosystem that's hand-drawn and has story to it, which again, I left that as a little homework. Check out the story because I think you'll be pretty compelled. And you have a team that's dedicated, right? You heard from Gareth there a little bit, but also John is very integral, especially on the marketing side and as one of the founders. So if we look at the constituent parts of what makes a successful project, this ostensibly has all those. Obviously, you still want to go through your checklist yourself, make sure everything, looks good to you. But if we're talking about undervalued projects, this hasn't even launched yet. And this is something that could have easily, been granted millions in funding from VCs. But they turned it down. They said, nope, we want to build our user base first. We feel confident in the product we have. Let's go this route. So I really commend them for that, because to turn down big money to instead build your user base is something you don't really often see in this space, hardly ever.
Oh, sorry, Gareth was going to say something.
Yeah, sorry, Sean. Just very quickly, as well, also imperative to understand the business model is it's split 70-30. 70% of the total funds that we allocate to the prize pool are competitive. So as Adam rightfully demonstrated, we do actually prioritize competitive gameplay. That's what DEFVERSE is all about. Competitive gameplay, concept 2 and 3, collectively fighting against each other and being able to get a reward. However, 30% of it actually goes into airdrops, raffles, and lotteries. So for even you guys out there who aren't particularly skilled, you have a chance to win a lottery, which is completely random. You also have the raffles are basically you earn points by completing certain tasks on a daily, weekly, or monthly scale over several different games, and then points can be turned in for raffle tickets. And then raffle tickets can give away USDT, and they give away NFTs and other prizes. So, and finally, the airdrops are something which, of course, we send out to reach everybody, whether they're in the game currently or not. And that is our way of kind of bringing in more organic player base, a big player base, in continually trying to reach the next group of people. So the business model on the rewards front it's very multi-dimensional. But also, I did want to mention, because you mentioned pre-sales and rewards, I'd make this very, none of the money in Pinksale that we raise in this next 20 or 22 day period will be used for play forward. None of it at all. Everything that we earn, 50% of it back into market, 40% goes into liquidity, and 10% goes into the buyback and burn fund. We don't take a single cent from any of this money that's coming in. And that's very important at this stage, because it is our first opportunity to step into the fundraising market and really reach out to you guys and potential investors and players in the game. And as Adam said before, this is vital that we do this at this stage, because this will make or break the project. Not so much a break. We will be here regardless, whether we raise $1 million or $10, we'll still be here and we'll still continue. We've done this for 2.5 years now, and I've done this game so the platform for the last 2 years around the time job. So I will still be here working on this game regardless of what we raise. However, it would be absolutely fundamental, it would be crucial, it would be amazing if we could get some more developers on board right at this time and really push the development of the app, the API, and the Space Guardians flagship game to get out to you guys before, like, towards the end of the summer on an alpha test. And really what the fundraising is all about right now.
Thanks, Gareth. All right, one last question. Ayumi, if you can make it quick, we'll get through this, and then yeah, we can wrap it up.
Good afternoon, Shano. Hello, Adam.
Hey, Hayden.
Hello.
Adam, you have really talked about, you mentioned sustainability, but you didn't really get into it. I would like you to take a deep dive into how the team want to sustain this project, because lately a lot of projects, they lack sustainability. So I know you already said 50% of the money raised is going into marketing, but please, can you tell us the strategy that has been put in place to sustain this project?
Well, I think there's a lot that goes into sustaining the project. I think the first thing people should look at is there going to be tokens, excuse me, dumped in to be sold from doing nothing or very little. And when I say that, I say that with the asterisk of, you're still committing time, but if you look at Axie and some of these other play to earn models, again, I go back to exploitative because they'll have entire, human capital farms per se of people just mining, or in that case, playing to earn small amounts of rewards and then, selling them, right? Or to rank up their characters so they can earn more, but they're not actually putting in any time. It's not equitable because a lot of the time these agreements don't end up getting paid. They're done in post. It's just a terrible model. And all of that is driven by an inflationary token system, which does not bode well for a tokens chart. Look at the Axie chart. You'll see exactly what I mean. Instead, here, sustainability is built from the ground level, from the token side, right? Ensuring that the token is integral to use of NFTs and purchase and acquisition and, being able to grow your standing within the game from, a card-based system, from an NFT-based system. That also allows for fusion and, encouraging people to continue to purchase NFTs on a seasonal basis there, especially as games start to roll out that cover different, different sectors. So it's first from the token level, but then also from the use case level. Are these tokens being utilized within the ecosystem? Why are they necessary? And once that's established, then what's actually being earned in the game? And I would say, unfortunately, more than 90% of the games out there, you're earning tokens. And that sounds great until you look at the charts of these projects years in, or even months in sometimes, and you're like, I don't want to earn tokens anymore. I don't want to do this. And then you have to tweak the underlying systems. You have to allow for more rewards to be distributed because now the token is worth less. So why do all that when you can instead have the NFTs be fundamental for use within the ecosystem? Of course, there's the play to, free play mode, of course, but to really make it hyper competitive, people are going to want, once they understand the ecosystem a little bit, they're going to want these NFTs. And they're also going to want the chance to have, 200+% of, reward payout, as well as airdrop and otherwise through the founder NFTs, and great benefits to the standard NFTs as well, especially if you fuse them. There's an inherent need and want for those NFTs, especially at their price point. They're not $1,000, $10,000 each, very reasonable. And even after their, use is, let's say, done, they're still collectible as well. So they have kind of both sides of the equation covered. And the team has partnered with some of the leading, NFT listing marketplaces such as Tofu NFT, and also have some great partners as well for fiat on-ramping to make the process even easier for new people into Web3, which I think is great. But that's all to say, it starts from the token. The token is sustainable. It also is a system that is not paying out in rewards, so you're not going to have that inflationary sell-off. And from there, you also have to make sure that how is the profit being used from these NFT sales? Well, it's going back into, as Gareth said, marketing and propelling the ecosystem forward and expanding it. And even from the sales side, which you seldom see, the sale itself, as Gareth said, is going to be used, in those different buckets that were mentioned, right? For liquidity build out, for, further development and expansion, and of course, marketing with, 50% going directly into marketing and the rest being used to support the ecosystem as well for growth. So I think all those things combine to make a sustainable model, but it's also quite different than what people have seen. And I think that's why, especially if you see the difference, if you understand the difference, you're going to be an outlier that benefits the most, especially when it comes to these extra little incentives you're getting through not extra tokens, but NFTs that are going to be integral in your experience. I did want to mention one, because I know this is the last question. One final thing is a little bit of a takeaway here. When it comes to why buy the token now or why consider, there's a 20% discount, right? A 20% discount versus launch price. So whatever launch price ends up being, you're getting 20% off by getting into the pre-sale. So talk about benefits, right? 20% off list, access to, no matter your contribution amount, limited edition Pinksale NFTs that also will represent themselves in custom Space Guardians Online Spaceships NFTs. which we showed what those look like. It's really cool. And then you can also even get NFTs that can help you earn within the ecosystem, from standard all the way up to founder, and founder plus 3 additional standard if you do 5 BNB or more. So a lot of incentives here, not just for benefit within the game, but also monetarily as well. At the end of the day, a lot of us are traders. A lot of people, like to do quick flips or all that sort of stuff. I encourage you to see this as more than that type of project, but even from that level, you're getting a 20% discount, which I think is pretty good. But anyways, hopefully that answers your question. I went off on a little bit of a tangent there, but I would be remiss not to mention that 20% discount on list as well.
Oh yeah, thank you for the answer.
Thanks, Naomi. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up there. Thanks, everybody, for joining. I know we went a bit over time, but yeah, it was a really good AMA and I'm glad this was the one that we went over time for. But thank you, Adam, Gareth, and John, for coming out, and to the community as well. But I'll let you guys wrap it up and say some final words.
Definitely. Well, hey, thank you so much for having us. Thank you, DEFVERSE team, for giving me the opportunity to kind of peek behind the curtain and see all the hard work you guys have been, working at for this long. It definitely shows. And I encourage everyone that listened and that took the time this Saturday, when you could be outside, when you could be touching grass, please do that after this if you can. But before you do that, just take another couple of seconds, join the Telegram, right? Join the socials on Twitter, see the hard work that this team is putting out there, and please set those timers, because you do still have a little more than 4 days to be able to get in, your BNB in this raise. Again, it is a multi-phase IDO. You're getting great benefits, 20% off list price. As is mentioned here, no team tokens, no crazy private sale or VC fund that's going to dump on you. It's a real ground level endeavor in, ostensibly a really solid project. So please take a look at it, guys. Gareth, of course, I'll give you final word if you wanted to just mention a few things.
Yeah, just again, thanks a million for giving us this opportunity in the platform to actually get the word out to you guys. This is it's been a long time coming for us, especially for me and Tom. We've been working on our baby, so to speak, for 2 years. It's definitely a labour of love. Come what may, rain, hail, storm, winds, it doesn't really matter. We will be here continually developing. And next year, this will be released, hopefully in an almost complete state. We'll definitely be out to you guys at the very latest by the end of this year, but we anticipate around about September for an open alpha launch on the Space Gardens Online, with competitive data reward systems being a month or two of that. So yeah, we really look forward to giving that opportunity to come in and invest with us and join us in this journey, this adventure. Thank you from me and John. If you want to see you guys, and
Yeah. So actually, Adam, thank you for doing the AMA for us. Actually, a lot of important details. Because if it was in this, it would have taken like 3 hours or something. But it was very informative. Thank you for that. And thank you,
guys.
as well.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Have a great day.
Cheers. Thank you so much, Shano, as well, for having us.
You too. See you, mate. Bye.